na nagilkan kami benar sa sundalo. Amadake benar limuda po sa kami. Taman sa namatay pandiyan sa mga tao. Mga bapa namin pinamatay nila. Nantubay kina siya namin sa dato piyang, nantubay sa bapin. Na di kay pagkuana sa basuka sa magabi sa mga magmam, mabagulan ni kadakli na pambasuka sa kanta.
Civilians caught in the crossfire of conflict on the island of Mindanao in southern Philippines. In August 2008, more than 500,000 people fled their villages after fighting erupted between the armed forces of the Philippines and the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. Makeshift evacuation camps were hastily set up to provide food and shelter for the refugees. Today, long after the fighting has ceased, many families have returned to their villages. But thousands still remain in the camps out of fear and despair, waiting, hoping that peace will come. When fighting flared in 2008, not far from Datupiang in Maguindanao province, the parish priest Father Ponpon Vasquez helped families flee to safety and set up an evacuation camp. With a video camera, Father Ponpon and his Oblate media team documented the impact of the war on civilians.
Nagsimula nung magkaroon nga ng breakdown sa pag-uusap between the government at ng MILF. Doon ko nakita yung paglisa ng mga tao sa pikit, and then yung karamihan dito ay napunta sa Datupiang. Talagang matatawag natin na kahindik-hindik yung mga nangyari noon. Napakaraming namamatay. Yung mga na-witness ko lang siguro mga abot ng mga 15 katao na na-witness ko na namamatay ng dahan-dahan dahil sa sakit. Nakatakas sila, nabuhay sila, nakatakas sila sa bala, pero hindi sila nakatakas sa kamatayan na dala ng sakit sa evacuation center.
What is this conflict, which has claimed at least 120,000 lives over the past 40 years, all about? The island was first populated by Muslim and non-Muslim indigenous tribes. The Muslims, known as Moros, established sultanates ruling large areas of Mindanao. When Spain and later America colonized the Philippines, wars were fought to subdue Moro Mindanao. From the early 1900s, waves of Christian settlers began to come from other islands, taking more and more of the land. Today, the settlers outnumber the original inhabitants. The Moro people and non-Muslim indigenous peoples comprise less than 20% of the population of Mindanao. This centuries-old conflict heated up in 1972 when the Moro National Liberation Front launched a guerrilla war against government troops for a Bangsa Moro homeland. The government eventually signed a peace agreement with the MNLF in 1996. However, it was rejected by another major rebel group, the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. The cycle of fighting, ceasefire, and peace talks has continued to this day. An interim peace agreement was almost reached in 2008, but the government backed out and fighting flared up again. According to opinion polls, the vast majority of Filipinos who are Catholic see the war as a conflict between Christians and Muslims who want to drive Christians from their lands. Many oppose the signing of a peace accord. Peace advocates in Mindanao view the conflict from a very different perspective, but their voices are seldom heard above the din of conflict.
Ito po yung conflict na nangyari dahil sa historical injustices laban sa mga minorities. Kasama na dito yung Bangsamoro people. Sila po ay pinagkaitan ng kanilang right to self-determination kung saan noong mga kapanahunan ay sila ay nagsasarili. Pero nung dumating ang mga kolonyalista, yun po ay nawala. At yun po ang kanilang ipinaglalaban na maibalik yun hanggang ngayon. Ang sambayan ng Moro ay may distinct siya na identity. Hindi naman totally different sa Pilipino, pero meron siyang sariling identity, way of life, culture, vision, the way they look at things. Meron magpakakaiba po.
kung babalikan natin ang kasaysayan ng Pilipinas ay nandun na ang mga Muslim nung una pa man. So ang kailangan lang dito ay recognition na merong ganon. Pero wala yun eh. Kahit na i-trace natin ang mga history book sa Pilipinas, wala kang makikita na acknowledgement man lang na yung mga Moro ay Moro na bago pa man naging lumabas ang katagang Pilipino. So kailangang i-recognize yun upang wag magkaroon ng tipong samaan ng loob at pag-aaway.
The conflict in Mindanao is about land. It's about respect of our culture, our system of beliefs. It's about bringing in a space for each and every one of us. So it's not really a conflict of a Christian and a Muslim. The story of Mindanao is not just about terrorism, kidnapping, and massacre. There's a lot of efforts at the ground level to build the peace by piece, one at a time. And these are the voices that are never heard of.
At Gindulungan in Maguindanao Province, volunteers from the Bantay Ceasefire Outpost are going on patrol in a nearby community. Wherever and whenever fighting breaks out, Bantay Ceasefire mobilizes its community networks of volunteers to investigate.
Ang Bantay Ceasefire po ay isang civilian-led monitor. Ibig sabihin, pinapangunahan ito ng civilian dahil alam po namin na ang pinaka-nagdurusa kapag merong conflict between GRP and MILF ay yung mga civilian.
Bantay Ceasefire is recognized by both sides in the conflict and by international monitors for the important role it has played in the peace process and protection of civilians. Community volunteer Mahmoud Tolino describes his experience.
Kano kapag dimakanilan na minangay kami lo. Nag-interview kami kano mga sundalo. Ngini sa waping ka dimbaka hinunta na adon ceasefire. In-interview bon sa mga local leaders. In-interview bon sa mga tao mismo lo. Mga nginto ngin sa bapin. Na why lalo kami na adon bon. Pambuto-buto bon, dimbakabon, pakagilak bon. Mas kami na concern kami. To kami na dalpa. Kailangan namin adon mga tawa pambuluntar outside siya. Na yun to kas kami na di kami pagkatikang volunteer.
Mrs. Badria Abbas is still living at a camp for internal refugees in Makir, Maguindanao because she has no home to return to. 79 families lost everything when their village was burned during the fighting in 2008.
Panunantok ka ng gulay, kinapanutong sa mga wali namin, katawan namin sabab kasi kami, di na kami bagamong sa indan ng mga redusan, katawan ko sa bapin, na kay tambunyanin sa bapi, umang ko din mele na mga gaban namin, na makulyang ginawag ko, masakit talaga sa lalab ko, panunan ka gina sa kami na katawan namin, do kami bawang ka, maraming evacuation center, do kami nakabawang ka, bangilin namin, ipanuni kuyag namin, kaginandaan kataman uyag-uyag namin langon-langon ang mga langon ta namin walay namin gamit namin natutong.
Ang kaso po ng panununog ng bahay sa Barangay Pagatin sa Sitio Gadong ay kakaiba dahil sila po ang naglakas na loob na lumabas, ilantad ang katotohanan at mag-file ng kaso laban sa mga perpetrator na allegedly ang Armed Forces of the Philippines ang may kagagawan. Isa po to sa mga gusto nating i-highlight na kapag ang civilian ay naapektuhan ng kanyang karapatan, ay siya mismo ay tatayo at labanan kung sino man ang naglalabag sa kanyang karapatan.
Land is the most precious natural resource in Mindanao. Access to land means everything. It provides livelihood for farmers who make up the vast majority of Mindanao's 21 million people. But land is also a source of conflict. Land grabbing and opposing claims to the same land are commonplace. Land disputes can easily turn violent and lead to strife among the three peoples or tri-peoples of Mindanao: the Moro people, the non-Muslim indigenous tribes, and Christian settlers. Seeing the smiling faces of elders from the three peoples in this community, one could hardly guess that they were fighting each other only a few years ago. In Barangay Puloy-Puloy, Sultan Kudarat Province, disputes between Moro and indigenous Manobo residents erupted in violent clashes in 2001. Several people were killed. The fighting displaced hundreds of Manobo families who fled their village in fear. When they later tried to return, they found their land occupied. Attempts to mediate the conflict dragged on until elders from the three peoples finally reached a settlement, facilitated by a local peace organization. The agreement set aside land for a new Manobo village on a hillside in Puloy-Puloy.
Ang maganda na bagay doon ay ang komunidad mismo yung naghanap at nagsisik ng initiative na paano i-resolve yung conflict para hindi matatapos na rin yung gulo dito at makabalik sa komunidad yung mga dulangan Manobo. Bahaba pa rin yung proseso sa ganoon. Nagte-training sila, nag-undergo sila ng crash course kung paano yung negotiation, mediation, and all that.
Medyo matahimik sa Kagalbak o medyo na doon sa Kamandangan o mafiyon pa sa kakaan o pakagalbak kay diya sa diya tana para magtay kay sa anak kay o paka-eskwela sa anak kay o sa sari-sari galbakan kay hindi di doon ladab kay yasa kana di benta mafiyon-fiyon ko.
So yun sa pag-aayos na yon, napakabuti po yon para sa aming barangay. So ngayon, nakita po namin na kahit papaano, maganda na yung samahan ng Lumad at saka Moro at saka Christian. So parang nagkakaintindihan na, hindi parehas noon na gulo dito, gulo doon. So ngayon, wala nang patayan, wala nang samaan ng loob.
Kung mayroon ibang grupo na kakailanganin nila ang mga tulong namin, maaari kami makashare kung irerespeto ng bawat panig yung traditional na kaugalian ng bawat grupo o kung grupo man. Yun lang po.
Tripod Foundation, a Mindanao NGO, provided support and training to assist the community in resolving the land conflict. With the dispute settled, focus has shifted to improving livelihoods through organic farming.
Yung food sovereignty project natin ay isang bahagi ng rehabilitation program na kung saan kinakailangan natin ibalik yung i-rehab yung economic ng bawat tao, no. Ito ay pag-promote ng organic farming na kung saan sila ay magpo-produce ng kanilang pagkain, ng kanilang produkto na organically. At kung saan yung mga farmers ang may say sa kung anong gusto nilang itanim at sila yung may control sa seeds nila. Ang proyekto ay hindi magiging successful kung hindi na-resolve yung problema or walang kapayapaan na nararamdaman or tinatamasa ng mga nakatira sa community.
In many ways, the story of Puloy-Puloy is the story of Mindanao. Peace is possible if the basic rights and traditions of the three peoples are respected. This includes the rights of the non-Muslim indigenous people living in the uplands, who are also original inhabitants of Mindanao, along with the Moro people.
Ang aming tunay na hinaing na dadalhin sana kung ano yung boses ng mga katutubo na mapanatili namin yung control at saka sistema ng pamamahala doon sa loob ng aming lupaing ninuno. Na kung titingnan natin, may similarity or kahalintulad doon sa ipinaglalaban ng aming Bangsamoro Brothers.
The prospects for an overall political settlement and an end to the strife in Mindanao are uncertain. Armed conflict could erupt again at any time. But the voices for peace are strong in the peace movement, in the refugee camps and local communities, pointing the way towards a peaceful future for Mindanao.
Mindanao should be a place for everyone, the Moro people, the indigenous people, and the settlers. But they must respect each other, especially the Bangsamoro should be respected of their right to self-determination. The indigenous people should be respected of their ancestral domain and the settlers of their property rights. Ito yung isang vision kung saan ang mga tao ay nagkakaisa, nagtutulungan sa isang isla katulad ng Mindanao upang ito ang mapaunlad at silang lahat ay makinabang.